stop. Before you go any further, listen to one thing. You think you come just to watch a video, but this place is different. Here you don't hide behind noise. Here it's impossible to distract, escape, or forget. Here, everything you've been hiding inside comes to life. You've found yourself in a space where every emotion has a form, where silence is louder than a scream, where your own rooms of consciousness are waiting for you to finally enter. I will not show you what is not. I will show you what you have longed to see. And if you are ready, let us open the first door. You take a step forward. The corridor you enter seems endless. It doesn't threaten you, it simply waits, as if it knows you'll return here one day. The silence here isn't the absence of sound. It's the presence of everything you've been drowning out for years. You walk slowly. The walls absorb the sound of your footsteps. Every meter becomes heavier. The silence seems to press on your ears, forcing you to hear things you usually don't notice. At the end of the corridor is a door, an ordinary wooden one, but the air before it is colder, as if something behind the canvas has long been waiting for your attention. You touch the handle. It gives without effort, and you find yourself inside the room of silence that screams nothing supernatural, just an empty room, gray walls, dull air, a floor devoid of any detail. But what you feel is much louder than any scream. At first, the room seems empty, but you begin to hear it differently. First, a slight tremor inside your chest. It feels like cold, but it's not cold. It's what you call emptiness. Emptiness isn't when there's nothing. Emptiness is when there's something you don't want to feel. You take another step, and the silence becomes denser, as if the air were vibrating. You hear an echo, but not of the room, but of the past. Don't be weak. You're not in pain. No need to get upset. Others can handle it. These phrases aren't spoken out loud. They emerge from the depths of your memory because they have nowhere else to live. You locked them away here many years ago. This room holds all the moments when you wanted to say, "I feel bad," but you chose to remain silent, and the silence became a part of you. In the center of the room is something barely noticeable, like a shadow, like a lump of something alive. This is your truth, your true feelings, the ones you weren't given space for. You want to turn away, close the door, pretend you didn't see anything, and the silence reacts. It grows louder, not with a sound, with a state, with pressure, with a reminder not to punish you, but so that you will finally hear. Because one simple thing has always been true. Silence is what speaks to you when you're no longer listening. You don't have to step to the center of the room. You don't have to lift a shadow, untie old knots, or deal with what you've hurt. Not today. But there is one action that changes everything. Say inside yourself, "I hear," not loudly, quietly. That's enough. The room doesn't disappear. It simply stops being an enemy. You step back, step out into the hallway, and close the door. You still feel the silence, but it's different now. You did the first, most difficult thing. You dared to enter, and someday you will find yourself here again. Not because you have to, because you don't want to hide from yourself anymore. You walk back down the hallway, and the distance that once seemed endless now seems shorter. Not because he's changed, because you've changed. The silence still follows you, soft, even insistent, but it no longer presses. It's watching, as if waiting for you to do next. You feel the air grow warmer, a little denser, as if the space notices your decision and responds to it. For a moment, you stop, just stand, and for the first time in a long time, you realize the hallway doesn't threaten you. It shows you the way. It always did. You simply look the other way. You continue walking, and in the semi-darkness, another door appears. Not like the last one. This one is ajar, as if someone had just entered or left, as if she'd been expecting you a little earlier than she should have. You move closer. The handle is cold, but already familiar. You carefully push the door. It doesn't creak, doesn't resist. It simply lets you in. It's dim inside. There's almost no light, but there's enough to discern outlines. This is a room of sounds that changed you. It doesn't frighten you. It doesn't oppress you. It resounds. The quiet voices aren't words, but echoes of moments that once made you stronger, even if they seemed weak. A step taken when you wanted to fall. A farewell you experienced. A frankness you spoke for the first time. The people you lost, and those you were able to hold on to. Decisions that broke you, but ultimately put you back together. Every sound is a memory that doesn't hurt, but reminds you you changed, and each time you survived. You close your eyes and realize this room isn't about pain. It's about what you've already experienced, and about the fact that you can move on. You take a step back. The light from the hallway falls onto the floor of the room, and the sounds become quieter, as if bowing, acknowledging your presence. You're back in the hallway. There are many more doors before you. Some are closed, some are waiting, some will open only when you're ready. But now you have the most important thing. You already know that you can enter rooms that you've feared your whole life. And each subsequent one will speak to you more softly than the first one. The corridor greets you with a soft twilight, as if it knows you'll return to it again. Not because you're lost, but because you're beginning to find yourself. You walk slowly, feeling the space adjust to your step. The silence no longer pursues you. It follows you like a companion that has waited your whole life for the moment when you'll stop perceiving it as an enemy. The corridor is in no hurry to reveal its secrets. It allows you to breathe, to be aware, to feel. And gradually, you notice things that you would have easily missed before. The shadows on the walls don't seem so dark. The air isn't so heavy. And even the distance that once seemed oppressive now feels like a path you choose yourself. You walk further, and a new door appears in the depths of the corridor. She doesn't frighten you. She doesn't beckon you. She simply is, like a part of you that you haven't yet managed to open. This door is slightly ajar, just a little, as if someone wanted to look inside but changed their mind, or as if the room was waiting specifically for you and knew you wouldn't pass by. You move closer. The handle is warm, an unfamiliar sensation after the cold of the previous doors. You push the door and it opens softly, as if it had long since become accustomed to your touch. Before you is the room of sounds that changed you. It's not full of echoes. It's full of life, but not the kind others see, the kind that lives within you, moments that left traces, even if you yourself tried to erase them. You step inside, and the room reacts not with pressure, not with fear, but with a quiet, barely perceptible sound. Not music, not words, rather the vibration of memories. At first, a subtle, almost imperceptible beat, like a heart that has experienced too much, but still continues to beat rhythmically, persistently, alive. You listen, and the sounds become clearer, The rustle of the pages of a diary that you once closed and hid. A sigh of relief on that evening when you finally told the truth to yourself. The dull sound of the door that you closed, walking away from those who destroyed you. A quiet laugh, sincere, pure, the moment when you allowed yourself to be alive, even if no one saw. These sounds are not ghosts of the past. They are proof, confirmation that you changed, fell, rise, remained yourself even when it seemed impossible. Every sound is you, the real you, not the way they wanted you to be, and not the way you tried to be for others, but you, the one who survived, passed, remained. You close your eyes, and the sounds grow closer, as if surrounding you with warmth. Not scorching, not oppressive, but one that says, "You've done more than you think." The room seems to breathe with you. It demands nothing. It doesn't force you to remember things you're not ready for. It only shows you're no longer the person who was afraid to enter here. You look around the space, and for the first time, you notice that it's not empty. There are faint footsteps on the floor, your own. You were here before, but you weren't looking around then. Now you are.